Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. Happy Wednesday. It is hump day. And okay, ready to do this. It's humid. Sorry, I know. It's so humid this morning. Or it's me, I'm having a hot flash. I don't know. But we're going to do oracles today. I don't feel like thinking. I have nothing on the books right now because I kind of zoned out yesterday. So I will be working the rest of the week trying to come up with new subjects for next week. But yeah, for now, we did our show yesterday. And today we're going to do oracles. I don't know how many decks I'm going to get through, so we'll figure this out as we go. But I'm thirsty. Maybe that's why I'm so hot. Anyway. You never know what you're going to get with a live, right? So, anyway, just waiting for some people to come on. Oh, right. While I'm waiting, I almost forgot. Oracle guidelines. Oracle guidelines. We do have the Oracle guidelines. Where are you, my babies? Okay, I write these down so I don't forget. Okay, and so I don't stray. Number one, don't worry where the message is coming from. I only work from a good place. So if you're seeing this, there's a reason you are here. Truly, I know some people don't believe in this. My mom was a huge opponent of it until I started explaining it to her, and that it's actually not that bad. It's not like the movies, kids. Okay. Number two, do not make a card fit your question if it does not resonate with you. Forcing an outcome or an answer not meant for you can cause unnecessary stress and overthinking. Number three, I will give you the message I receive and the message from the book because someone took the time to write it and put it together. And number four, angels, God, heaven, etc. might come up. Feel free to insert your higher power / the universe. This will help the flow of the reading without stopping to clarify. Now, mind you, I know there are people out there who kind of hide the fact that they are magical, but also believe in God. You don't have to. Okay? It's a gift. Period. If you believe in God, it's a gift. If you don't, it's a thing you can do. So, it's still a gift. But anyways, oh my God, my head feels like it's swimming. Sorry, I know. I don't know. That was weird, right? I'm like, let's get going with oracles. And all of a sudden it's like, oof, I think I know why I'm hot now. I normally don't shower in the morning. I'm a night showerer, but I fell asleep last night. So I had to get clean. I know, that's why my hair is all wonky right now. Anyway, I know. You get to see the girls in their natural state. All curly. So I feel like I have, God, who was that had the, like Captain Hook with the tuft, with the tuft and all his curls, minus the hook. All right, let's go. I'm trying to decide. I was only going to do one deck today, but I pulled out three magical messages from the fairies, the New Orleans Oracle deck, and the Enchanted Unicorns. And I'm feeling the Enchanted Unicorns, so we'll see if we get to the other ones. Okay, I don't know. The New Orleans deck is calling me, though. I know. There's always that one card in here, right? That just has to be heard. So, and there it is. There it is. I heard only one card, but I'm still going to give it 3 shuffles just in case they change their mind. Oh, all right. See? Learn how to trust your spidey instincts. Ooh. What did I just say? I heard only one card. Trust your spidey instincts. Intuition. Which I know I have all these gifts, and it's crazy because I'm like, well, I don't know. I constantly doubt myself. So I think we need to, whoever's like me, we need to stop. All right. Just trust your gifts. Don't worry about what other people say. Just, if you believe that you can do certain things, do it. Okay. I know there will be people out there say, you don't have that much power. Want to bet? So, and you know what's funny? I called this show, I said wisdom through the third eye. And I was like, I don't know. I was just trying to be clever, right? Look at there. Look at there. Right? Like right there. Right there. So, God, I'm goofy this morning. I must have gotten sleep. So anyways, I had good sleep. I had weird dreams, which is good because that means I'm active in my sleep. But intuition. Let's see what intuition has to say. I love that card. I love all the colors. It's very pride, right? I'm a proud ally of the pride community. So I have a lot of people I know that, you know, wave the LGBTQ banner, and I get very mama bear with them. So yes, I'm an ally to the group, but that is very pride. I don't know, I like it. So anyways, intuition. Intuition is the accurate inner knowing that each of us is born with. If you choose to tune into it consistently, it will become stronger, and it can help guide you to bring you peace throughout every aspect of your life. You are being called to ask yourself, what do I feel about this? By remembering to start with that question, it will allow you to understand the difference between what you think and what you feel. Sometimes it is necessary to be aware of the profound difference between the nature of these two things. You are not being asked to completely sacrifice intellectual thought, but rather to combine it with your gift of intuition in order to gain more balance and clarity in your life decisions. So I think the reason this one said, hey, I want to come out first, was because, to be honest with you, we all have a natural intuition. You know, that gut feeling. You know, we call it gut feeling, we call it spidey instincts, we call it all kinds of things except for what it actually is, your intuition, your third eye. Now, I know for some people the third eye is kind of like, oh, that's a little too woo-woo for me, but you know, hey, what can I say? It's a natural gift. It's your fight or flight, basically. It's your nervous system saying, but when you really soak into this, okay, it becomes more than just your nervous system. Your nervous system starts working with that inner knowing that you have. You know, like, hey, there's a dark alley, let's go down it. No, right? That's your fight or flight. But you may see a dark alley and hear something weird and go, you know what? There's nothing in this alley, just no lights, but I hear something. Just be careful, okay? Use your spidey instincts, because you never know. There might be someone down there that needs help. You know, maybe they were trying to cross through, because here's the thing, not all alleys are bad, right? I'm just using that as a metaphor. But at the same time, you don't want to tempt fate either. So, you know, if your spidey instinct is yelling at you to go the other way, get some help, you know, send help down there saying, you know what, I just have a bad feeling about this, and I heard something down there, and I don't know if someone's safe or not. So, you know, call someone, get help, okay? Get help. So, that made me think of Thor. Right, that one scene with him and Loki. Get help. I'm not doing get help. So anyways, I don't know why I'm so hyper this morning. Maybe the shower woke me up. I don't know. Maybe that cup of water helped. I don't know. I'm staring at this. I have to tell you, it's funny how the world works sometimes, right? Because I'm sitting here thinking, you know, I really got to stop eating so many sweets. So I'm not a big fan of vanilla, but my dad ordered Ensure for himself because he came home and he accidentally got these. So I'm all, you need to return that. You know, I said, you need to get a refund and they need to send you the right stuff. So they told us to keep this. So I'm going to drink it. But anyways, yeah, maybe it's just because I finally got some good, hard sleep. I mean, I didn't even wake up in the middle of the night. Well, I woke up at one point, like 3:20 in the morning. But, you know, sometimes when I wake up, I'm asking. Again, intuition. Sometimes I wake up and I go back to sleep. Sometimes I wake up and ask what time it is, because sometimes it's my spirit guides trying to give me a number to look up. So, oh my God, those aren't bad. I'm not going to tell my dad because they're actually pretty good. Don't tell him. So anyways, all right. So yeah, when we're talking about our intuition, just use your spidey instincts, all right? Whatever you want to call it. But when it comes down to it, it is your intuition. It is your body saying, look, you know what? This may not be a good idea, or hang in there. And, you know, sometimes our intuition may tell us one thing, but something else happens. It could either be a warning, or it could just be saying, hey, this is your intuition, but it's not yet. All right. I know that makes no sense, but it may not be ready for you yet. Okay, so just hang in there, all right? But yes, use your spidey instincts, because they can be very, very important, and they can keep you safe. Okie dokie. Good. All right. Well, that was an awkward shuffle. Ooh, there's one. Let's see what we get. I'm only going to do 3 shuffles this time, because every time I do more, we do end up with more. So if the higher power's got something they want to say, they need to say it. I don't know if that was supposed to be a card or not, but Okay, see, intuition saying I'm supposed to shuffle one more time. Oh, there we go. 3 cards. 3 cards. Step up for your 3 cards. All right, this was the first, second, and third. What is wrong with me this morning? I'm so hyper, and I don't know why. It's like a burst of energy just happened. Hold on one second. Either that or it's because I haven't done my show in like a week. And, you know, when I don't do it consistently, I get a little uncomfortable, you know, like nervous. And I think I'm nervous. I don't know why I'm nervous, though. I don't know. It's nervous energy, and I don't know why. So anyways, invention, brilliant new ideas. So if any of you are having brilliant new ideas, it's time to put them into action, okay? Don't just look at it. Don't just wait for someone else to create it. Do it. Make it happen. Okay, so invention. That's kind of it's very sort of, not quite steampunk, but the top of his head feels very that way. Sort of, you know, with all the little doohickeys, little mechanical pieces. Oh, and that's the number 1 card. How about, oh my goodness. I didn't even know I kept a card in there. Whoops. I don't know. Admit your true feelings. Yeah, okay. So anyways, card number 1. I don't think I've had this card before. Wow, that's fascinating because I've had this deck for a while. Like I said, I bless them when I first get them, but I like to be surprised when they come up because, you know, it's like a new thing, right? Just like, you know, it drives older sibling nuts that when I get new things, I don't read the manual. So just go for it, right? See what happens. Be surprised. So anyways, it's the blueberry card. So blueberries are traditionally used in protection spells, and when placed under the front doormat can offer protection for the home and family. Blueberries have been associated with following your dreams because of the beautiful 5-pointed starry flower the plant produces. There it is. I think that's it right there. On a metaphysical level, they have been linked with removing obstacles and creating a space to find fresh answers to tricky problems. Medicinally, blueberries can help improve eyesight, especially at night. Thus, blueberries can enhance clear vision both on a physical and magical level. Oh, maybe I need to start eating more blueberries. Oh no. Sammy says had a friend. Oh. Are you okay? Is she okay? Are you all okay? And don't worry about being late. We just had the intuition card. Now we're just doing invention. So, yeah, I hope okay. Everybody send good vibes to Sammy's friend who, you know, who's not doing well right now. So anyways, okay. So, well, I'm glad you're on. I'm glad everything's okay. I just thought you went out with the besties today. That's all. But, not as fun. So I am sorry you had to go through that. Does this involve, I'm just curious, does this involve the caretaking of Bobby? Is it Bobby? Is Bobby the Chihuahua? I think it's Bobby. I don't remember. Roberta. Bobby. So anyways, I hope they're okay. Okay, so divination. Creativity is not just about creating art. Creativity can mean finding new solutions to old problems. A breakthrough is imminent. You are thinking clearly now and obstacles are starting to dissolve. A clever solution to a long-standing issue or a brilliant new money-making idea is indicated. Start by getting these ideas out of your head and onto paper. This is the first step in ensuring your inventive concepts become a reality. Divergent thinking is the key. Brainstorm as many possibilities as you can think of, even if they seem completely out there and pie in the sky. This is not the time to worry about logic and practicality. Within these new ideas rests the seed of brilliance, and this new growth needs to be nurtured with a yes attitude. Be curious, take a few risks, entertain some outlandish ideas. Allow yourself to potter and let the ideas marinate with no judgment about wasting time and being seemingly idle. Everyone is creative and able to think of brilliant new ideas, not just the artists and inventors of this world. Creativity is an intuitive process, yes, but it is also a skill that can be learned and practiced. So see, we just had intuition, and now this is talking about intuition again, okay? So the invention unicorn encourages you to be playful and embrace a childlike why not attitude. A positive attitude will help your excellent ideas flourish and expand. Anything is possible when this unicorn appears. Now remember, this isn't just about, you know, creating something mechanical, okay, or creating something for the world. This could be a book. It could be a painting. It could be a drawing. It could be whatever, wherever your creative process goes to. So a lot of people are going to be sitting there going, wait a minute, I'm not a very mechanical person. It doesn't have to be mechanical. Okay. This is talking about whatever ideas are in your head that you need to, well, that was weird. I'm starting to see things now. Okay. Seriously, what is wrong with me today? So anyways, I think my third eye uncovered itself, but, anyway, this is just talking about all different kinds of things. If you're a computer programmer, maybe there's a game you want to put out there. Maybe there's an app you want to put out there. Maybe you're a fitness person and you want to put your fitness ideas out there. So, you know, you could write the book, you can write a manual. You know, if you have clients, you can write a manual and give it to them on, you know, like nutrition and all those other things. So this isn't just a card about inventing, you know, things that people can use, like the toilet, right? Okay, that's just an excuse, or a Keurig machine. It's about creativity. It's about inventing something that people can use, whether it's something they read, they can draw on, they can look at because you drew it, or they can physically use. All right. So the next, hello, did Sammy say? Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so Sammy's friend has I cannot talk today, partially collapsed lung, but they also have lung cancer. So kids, you know what to do. If you pray, pray. If you send good vibes, send good vibes. I know sibling's mom had lung cancer and survived it twice, right? Older sibling. So hopefully this is something that they can get through. I know that Mom Barbara had to have some, is it nodules removed? I'm not sure how that works. I'm not a doctor, but I only play one on TV. Just kidding. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. But yeah, no, I don't blame her for being really, really scared. So again, Mom Barbara, I don't know how old your friend is, but Mom Barbara did survive this several times. And she was spooked, but it is scary. But for what it's worth, sports injuries, a lot of times they have collapsed lungs and they come through it fine. So everybody, like I said, whoever's watching this, I don't care if it's a year from now, okay, that you see this. I know you play a genius on Facebook. I don't know about that, but oh, that's right, because we said that the other day. I'm not a genius. I just play one on Facebook. That's right, because God, I can't remember what that subject was about, but that was a funny day. So anyways, I don't know. I got to make sure I don't smell toast, because what is happening to my brain right now? Either that or maybe I'm just in a really good place today. I don't know, because, you know, Dad's safe. Dad's home. I'm taking care of him now. And he's getting more active. He's starting to do things. And so maybe I just kind of feel like that weight lifted. Maybe that's it. Maybe I feel that weight lifted off of me. I don't know. Anyways, so yes, we will be praying for your friend, and we'll be sending, if you don't pray, guys, send out the magic, send out the woo-woo, send out the good vibes, please, because surgeries are scary, all right? I mean, when they put me out for a colonoscopy, I freak out, all right? So, and that's just momentary. So surgeries are a big deal. And yeah, I can understand the fear and being afraid, especially when you have lung cancer, so, or any kind of cancer. So let's send out the good vibes and the prayers. Okay, older sibling said prayers going up now. My prayers are going up now too. They're, you know, I'm using my other side of my brain for that one. But Muddy, send me their name if you don't mind, and I'll see what I can do on my end with the energy work I do, okay? So, even if it's just to help calm her down. So, you know, all right. If you want, it's up to you, you know. But, yeah, so, all right. So the next card, I promise I'm not trying to be rude. I have to go somewhere this morning. So, you know, so I'm just trying to get through this. Snacks. Everybody loves snacks. That's why I got to drink these damn things, because, you know, every time I want something sweet, it's kind of like, ugh. But I'm telling you, these are actually pretty good. I am shocked, and I'm not telling my dad because then he'll want them. And I'm not a vanilla person. Vanilla's boring, so I don't know. Oh my God, they're so good. I'm shocked. They kind of, you know what they taste like? You know, like when you eat your cereal as a kid, and then you drink the milk? That's what it tastes like. It tastes like sugar milk. I don't even know what this is. Hunger Smart. It has carbs, 15 grams of protein. To help manage your blood sugar response. I get it. Replace a snack choice. So there you go. Shelly Marie's on a roll. All right, so release judgments around food. I just did. I drank something vanilla. It is. Vanilla's boring. I'm sorry. I know my dad loves like French vanilla ice cream. And I'm just like, why? It's so boring. He's all, because I like it. Anyway. So yeah, oh, this is a cute card. That's a cute one. I like that. Oh God, that cake looks so good. I tried to make a cake like that once and it fell apart. And then I realized why it fell apart, because I didn't put enough strawberries in it. So, but older sibling said for my first go round in making it, I actually did pretty good. So I was pretty proud of myself. And it is strawberries. Strawberries have long been associated with love and happiness. Their sweet berry heralds late spring, early summer, and the start of outdoor parties. Joyful gatherings often feature strawberries, whether in a glass of champagne or decorating and flavoring a delicious dessert. On a metaphysical level, strawberries encourage us to enjoy the sweet things in life: happiness, abundance, and sensuality. Divination. This card appears when you or others around you have been judgmental about food choices. Be gentle on yourself. We live in challenging times where food has been demonized. Some food is considered good and other food is deemed bad. And the types of food that are good and bad swap around. Yeah, remember when eggs were bad for you? Now they're good for you again. And the types of food that are good and bad swap around. For example, avocados, butter, and eggs, once considered bad for you, are now thought of as superfoods. You can be forgiven for being confused. No one food is intrinsically good or bad. Everyone has the right to eat what they want when they want to. One of the great joys of this physical existence is delighting in the variety of delicious food and drinks available on this abundant earth. This unicorn appears when you have been struggling with finding the right diet and nutrition, or labeling what you eat as right/wrong, creating feelings of guilt and resentment around food. There is also there is a lot of information available about the perfect diet, but remember, one size does not fit all. What works for one person may be damaging to another. Check in with your inner guidance. There's your intuition again. See, we're like 3 for 3 now. What works for you? Okay, check in with your inner guidance. What would you love to eat or cook? This is what your body wants. Let go of the ego and allow yourself to enjoy food without attaching any labels to it. My gut wants French fries. Well done from Del Taco. And I'm not ashamed of that either. What was it? I had a post the other day that said, the rest of my day I will be subsisting on donut holes, sprinkled donut holes, and chocolate milk. And I'm like, and I have no shame about it. I had no shame about it. I did not care. I did not care. That was my veg day, and I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. This is what's going to happen. So anyway, I know. I don't know what's wrong with me right now. You know, I think part of it was because the last 10 minutes before the show, I had to start running around doing things and trying to rush. And I think I'm still in that rush mode. So, yeah, I am sorry. You're getting wiry, Shelly. But 1,000. Ooh, deeper understanding the lotus. Oh, wait, we didn't even finish the other one. I'm so sorry. So, yeah, when it comes to food and snacks and stuff like that, look, here's the thing. We're not always going to make good decisions, okay? But when we make a bad choice, especially if you're an emotional leader, I'm speaking very loudly to the emotional leaders in the back who are hiding, chewing on the cupcakes, okay? Don't shame yourself. Don't hide. Don't sit in the closet eating this shit. Journal it. All right. Today I ate blah, blah, blah. But don't shame yourself over it. But also don't binge on it. Okay. That's what makes us emotional eaters, is we're feeding our feelings, but we're feeding it stuff. We're not feeding it strawberries. We're not feeding it grapes. We're not feeding it, fruit, which could, or even one of these things, which could clearly make a difference when we have that sweet tooth. Because the question is, this is where you need to use your intuition. Are you having a sweet tooth, or are you having an emotion? Because if it's an emotion, you need to feel it. The only way out is through. And it sucks. I know for a lot of us, it's hard. But the only way out is through. And the only way that you are going to get better and go into recovery as an emotional eater is to face the fact that we are emotional eaters. A lot of times we don't want to think we are. But if you were hiding in the pantry eating this stuff and you hear someone coming and you tuck it away somewhere and hide it, that's the same kind of behavior as a drug addict or an alcoholic. Okay? Now, I know that it's a different kind of addiction. And I know that, it's like a slow kill, right? It can't kill you like drugs can, just like that. It can't kill you like alcohol can, just like that, or make poor choices. But it can do damage to your body over the course of time, all right? So I always thought of it as, I never wanted to say anything to anybody because I always thought that it was just in my head, that it was some kind of weird addiction. But according to one of my therapists, who was a eating disorder therapist as well, it is considered an addiction. It's a food addiction. So I know it's hard to put us in the same category as someone as an alcoholic or a drug addict, because we know the struggles they go through. We know how hard it is to quit. Whereas for us, we have to find that balance, because we do need to eat to survive. Okay? But it's not always about making bad choices. And we are allowed to kind of just go off the side, right? We're allowed to have that burger when we want, if we're out with friends or something. Whereas, a person who isn't with the substance abuse can't. They can't touch it. It is an absolute no-no. So there is a bit of a difference. Now, if you're the kind of person that will go off the rails, like for me, for instance, Coca-Cola, I had to give it up. I love Coke, not that kind of Coke. I love Coca-Cola. I do. It was my favorite, not the diet. I can't drink diet because artificial sugars give me headaches. But my doctor found out how many I was drinking. He's like, no more. My cardiologist. He's like, are you trying to die? It's like, no. But yeah, and it's been about, wow, I didn't realize it'd been that long. 14 years. I gave it up in 2012, I think. 2010 or 2012. So maybe 14 or 16 years. And I haven't had one since. And it sucks, okay? I do have bubbles from time to time, like Sprite or maybe a Dr. Pepper. But Coca-Cola was my favorite. That was literally my drug of choice. And in a way, it is kind of in its own way, its own drug. Caffeine is a drug. Sugar is a drug. And they're both very addictive. Okay, so that's why sometimes people have trouble giving it up, because you do go through withdrawal symptoms. So, like I said, it's hard to put us in the same category as those we know who struggle with substance abuse. And, I don't come at this lightly, okay, because we have an opportunity to make different choices, without having to go to rehab or all these things. So, give them a little grace and be very kind and understanding, because that is a hard journey for them. Okay. But sometimes we're all in the same boat when it comes to why we're doing these things. And a lot of times it's trauma. Okay. A lot of times it's trauma. And when we're traumatized and we go to something to help feed that pain, we start shaming that food, the candy bar, the chips, the burger, the fries. And so you really have to, if you are an emotional eater, you really have to kind of take an active stance on where you're at. Is it an emotion that you're feeling, or is it an actual craving? If it's an actual craving, I wouldn't stop you. Even my cardiologist says, if you're craving it, he's all, just get the smaller size. Don't supersize it. Just, make it small. Just get the small thing, enough to satisfy that craving. He's all, don't go overboard. You're going to make yourself sick. So, there are things that we can do. Don't take the whole bag with you. Just take a few, and if you want a few more, go back for them, but don't take the bag. Because when you take the bag, sometimes you start mindless eating, right? So this is how we get out of shaming ourselves when it comes to snacks. The food isn't the enemy. The emotion is not the enemy. We're not the enemy. It's just coming together in a way of understanding why we're doing this. Now, for other people who just kind of like, maybe you're a tiny person. And I don't mean that in a mean way, but there's thick and thin people, right? But maybe you're a very thin person and you want to maintain that, and you're afraid of what other, you might hang around the people that say, well, you shouldn't eat that, you're going to get fat. I had that when I was younger. Okay, when I was skinny. Well, you shouldn't eat that, you're going to get fat. And then on the flip side, I have all the aunties going, Shelly, you're too skinny, you need to gain weight. It's just like your brain just kind of goes poof, and it's like having an out-of-body experience. So don't shame the snacks, all right? Just don't shame the snacks. Find a healthy way to view them if you want something because you're having a craving. If you are having an emotion and you absolutely feel like you need to feed it, write it down in your journal. Say, today I emotionally ate, because running at it instead of from it is going to help you. Okay. And I would also seek some help on this. If, I can't tell you to get therapy when it comes to this, but there are therapists out there who do deal with eating disorders. And emotional eating, even though it's not one of the big two, right? Like bulimia or anorexia, is an actual eating disorder. So, and you want to get it taken care of, because you don't want your health to get too far out of shape. All right. So, and I don't mean you out of shape. I mean your health. You don't want your health to go so far sideways that, you're all of a sudden your doctor's throwing pills at you. So, you have the opportunities to find that balance between what you love and what you need to eat to survive. Okay. Because we got to eat, right? That is something that is not negotiable, as a human, as any kind of living creature. Okay. So 1,000, this is the Lotus card. This card is going to tie it all together. It is going to bring you clarity and joy and love. I actually don't know if it's going to, but those flew out of my mouth, so I'm going with it. Deeper understanding. Now, we just did a bunch of these intuitive cards, right? Each one had its own intuition. Then we talked about the emotional eating just now. Have a deeper understanding of yourself. Okay. I know you guys hate it because I'm sitting here all the time throwing homework at you. Journal it, journal it, journal it. I am not kidding. Yes, I love to write. Yes, I've been journaling pretty much my whole life. Not consistently until probably the last 10 years, but, which is why I have so many journals sitting around, right? It's like, I'm going to, and then I buy them and then I don't do it. But the last 10 years, it has been very, very helpful for me. And, it's just, I see the progress. And a lot of times it's just getting all this stuff out of you instead of holding it in. And when it comes to whether it's the very first card that we had, using your intuition, or the second card that we had, which was, oh what? I forgot already. I forgot which card we had. Sorry, hold on. Oh, invention, creativity, all that, using your intuition on the things that you love to do and how to put it into a money-making idea for you, if that's something you want to do. Or even the snack card, where we have to use our intuition. Am I craving it, or is this an emotion? And even if you're not an emotional eater, we are humans. We have emotions, okay? You may not be that person that's an emotional eater, but from time to time you may get stressed, right? You may stress eat. You may binge eat because, what do they call that? Like mindless eating. When you're sitting in front of the TV and all of a sudden the bag of chips, you're like, uh-oh, they're gone. Okay, they're gone. Don't shame yourself. Throw the bag away. Don't grab another one. Okay. Take a Tums before you go to bed. So yeah, sometimes that is going to happen sometimes. And that's okay. That's where we not need to shame ourselves. But this is where our intuition comes in. Do I really want to go to my chair with this whole bag of chips? So you don't have to be an emotional eater to have a weird, shaky relationship with snacks. So just, use your intuition, journal it if you feel like you need to, and just move forward, because this is how we discover the deeper understanding of ourselves and of our situations and what is causing some of the things that are happening, right? So this is the lotus flower. Now I'm sure it's going to say it in the body of this, But I want to remind everybody that we're all, especially, you know, whoever you are, whether you've had trauma or not, we are all sort of a lotus flower. We rise from the depths. You know, we are born in the darkness. You know, we are created in the darkness. That's the womb. And then we push out. You know, poor mom. We push out. All right. Sometimes we are removed. But the lotus flower, it grows in the muck and the gooey and the stuff. And it pushes out and becomes this beautiful flower. Every human being has the opportunity to be a beautiful flower. We just need to see it in ourselves. We just need to know it in our hearts. And sometimes life will damage you so much that you can't see it. So I am here to tell you that you are amazing. You're beautiful. You're handsome. You're gorgeous. Whoever you are. Even if you don't see it in the mirror, and even if you don't feel it in your life. I don't need to know you to know this. Because I struggle with that. And when people say kind things to me, it sparks something in me that says, you know what? I need to stop disagreeing with their compliments. They're giving me a compliment and I'm sitting here kind of just stomping on it by saying, no, just say thank you. Even if you don't feel it, just say thank you. But yeah, like Muddy said, no mud, no lotus. So no mud, no lotus. Also, a good mud pack on your face. Oh, so good. Good for the pores. So the lotus plant has long been thought of as a representation of the human condition. Its roots thrive in the watery, muddy depths of the rivers and ponds, representing our connection to the coarse, physical world. However, the stunning lotus flower surges above the water's dark surface, seeking the light, its petals opening and fanning out like the 1,000-petal crown chakra, Sahasrara. This word trips me up every time. Sahasrara. Sorry. I know I butchered that, and I apologize. Okay. I don't want the lotus to come down and smack me upside the head. So the crown chakra. Okay, we're going to leave it at that. This bloom represents our soul, our divine being, which always seeks a higher order. The lotus flower symbolizes purity, fertility, and beauty. Now, if you follow the chakras in the metaphysical world, the crown, that's your highest. Okay, you got your root way down there, like basically the base of your spine. You got your sacral, which is kind of your sexual area. I don't know what to call it. I mean, I'm trying to keep it normal, but kind of like there's a word I'm looking for, like almost like the seduction area, right? But you know, where you feel things. Then you have your solar plexus, which is right around not quite in your tummy area, but in the belly tummy area. That's the sunshine. And then you have your heart chakra, right? Then your throat, your third eye, and then your crown. So you got the intuition going right into the crown. And the crown is kind of like, that's your moneymaker. Okay, because that's your full intuition. That is your power. And it really is like wearing a crown. So when someone tells you to straighten your crown, straighten that energy crown, kids. So anyways, the divination. 1,000 years ago, humans were striving for the same things we will pursue today. Love, food, water, warmth, shelter, and safety. In this respect, the world has not changed. Once our basic needs are met, the 1,000 unicorn inspires us to concentrate on our spiritual side and develop a strong connection to our angels and guides. Practices like meditation, energy work, prayer, channeling, and taking care of the soul will open up a whole new world. Focusing on this area in your life will bring balance and peace of mind. The key mantra for the crown chakra, located at the top of our head, is I understand. It means that through persistent work, we can gain a deeper understanding of who we are and why we are. It means honoring our connection to the divine and to divine wisdom. This is not the search for spiritual pursuits for the sake of ego or to appear better or wiser than others. This work is honest and powerful and sometimes a little scary, but completely worth it as we follow our path of personal evolution. So when they say scary here, what they mean is when you're on your spiritual journey, there may be things that come up that you're not ready for, you know, or maybe you hid in your mind, or maybe you had forgotten had happened. This is going to be hard, okay? So if you are a person who has gone through trauma and you have not gone on your own personal healing journey or spiritual journey, or both, I did both. They just kind of ran right into each other, you know, but I would suggest therapy or a counselor or a very strong core support group of friends who don't judge you when you talk to them, but sit there and listen. Okay. And I say that because I am very fortunate to have that. You know, older sibling does walk me through things sometimes, you know, and I love her for this. Sometimes she does try to fix it, which she can't. But the minute I tell her, you can't fix this, it's like, okay. And she'll just listen. So, you know, and I do the same thing. I try to fix things because, you know, we just don't want to see people hurting. But if therapy's too expensive or you're too embarrassed or whatever it is, please, please, please try to find a very strong support group, because healing is not always pretty. It's pretty on the other end. All right. But, you know, it's like, you know, you get the storm before you get the rainbow. So, but here's the thing. And the reason I wanted to preface it with that was because I spent the reason my healing really kind of took so long was because I spent a lot of time running from it. Because it was scary. It was hard. It was difficult. And there was a point in me, at a point in my life, where I was not ready, or I felt like I wasn't strong enough to face it, when the whole time I really was. And then one day I really hit bottom so hard that I said, you know what? Excuse my language. I'm like, fuck this. All right. And instead of running from it, I started running at it. And the minute I started running at it, everything started changing. I started healing because I started doing that deep dive into the things that hurt me, that scared me, that, you know, kind of shaped the distrust and the disconnect and the dissociation and the mental health issues that I have. I have a chemical imbalance of depression, but it fed into the depression. And I have to tell you, there was a point where I refused to believe that I had a chemical imbalance of depression. Sometimes it happens to people who have heart surgery. Sometimes it messes up our chemicals, and some of us do end up on, you know, antidepressants. So my whole life I had this chemical imbalance since I had my surgery at 3. But I didn't realize that because, you know, I'm that age where my parents don't talk about it. My mom would not talk about it because, you know, you have to be stronger. So that being said, when I found out that it wasn't just a chemical, or when I found out it wasn't situational, that it was also a chemical imbalance being kind of, you know, just kind of exacerbating the trauma, I had to deal with that too. And that was another thing that I tried to run from, because it's like, no, I'm not that person. I'm not, it's situational. And it took me a few days to come to terms with the fact that this is my life. And after a while, I realized, you know what? I'm not ashamed of it anymore. It is what it is. Yes, I have a dinged up mental health. I manage it. I take care of it. I do what I have to do. Sometimes I spiral. Sometimes I lose my shit on myself. Sometimes other people. But that's not so much me anymore, because I did take care of that trauma. And I do my best now to try to address it as it happens, or as I realize it's happening. Sometimes I don't realize it's happening till it's too late. And I'm very fortunate to have people in my life that are willing to call me out on my bullshit. And that is actually very, very helpful. You know, you need that with people. You need the kind of friends that aren't going to yes you. They're going to be like, do you want me to tell you what you want to hear, or do you want me to tell you what you need to hear? And I think that's a good option. Ask them, you know. I do that with someone. Sometimes they come to me with their issues and it's like, I'm just blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, let's bottom line this right now. Do you want me to tell you what you want to hear right now? Or do you want me to tell you what you need to hear? And the funny thing is, 9 times out of 10, they will pick what I need to hear. But when you give them that option, They are opening, you are giving them a little bit of leeway to open up and trust you, because now they know you're going to listen. Okay, and it sounds like a weird thing to ask, but it's actually been very successful. So with me and the way I deal with people. So because I can't fix it, and I think at first that was more for me because I knew I couldn't fix it, but I kept trying to. So now it's just kind of like, But when it comes to the 1000 card, sometimes you got to run at it. Well, actually, you should always run at it. Run out the fear, because when you run out the fear, you are taking its power away. You were taking your older sibling loves to tell me, take your power back. And you take your power back by running at the fear, by running at the trauma, because that's how it gets healed. That's why the 1000 card said it might be scary. It might get dark sometimes, and it may not be easy. But once you come through to the other side, it will be something that you look back on and go, I did that. I did that. And sometimes that's what gets me through the day. It's like, wow, I turn around and I'm like, wow, I did that. And you notice that after I named the emotion, right, I calm down. I don't know if you noticed that. I noticed that. I noticed that after I named the emotion, knowing that my dad was okay, that he was being taken care of, that he's getting what he needs, and he's starting to do the work, that my body relaxed. It relaxed. Because I think I was still on high alert. So, anyways, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Muddy, I hope your friend, I'm wishing them the best. And like I said, if you don't mind, if you want, you don't have to, no pressure. You can send me their thing. I'm off to get my ankle checked. I know, it's like, it's ever since I fell. But anyways, yeah, watch out for that, okay? As you get older, don't fall down. Just move slow. And if you wear Doc Martens, move slow. I'm pretty sure my shoe got caught on the rain guard in the guy's car and went. Be careful. Be careful what you wear. I'm not giving them up. But as you know, my poor babies got scuffed to hell. So anyways, all right. I've been rambling. I apologize. I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. Maybe we'll do the magical fairies tomorrow. I'm just still kind of coming back into my body. So I just want to make these shows simple over the next few days. Because as you can see, I'm rambling. I'm going in 9,000 directions. I need to keep it simple. But I also want to keep doing the show because I need to stay in that focus. So again, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll see you back here tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, Facebook Live. All lives are public under Shelley Marie Lucas. You can find me on YouTube and TikTok, and then they spread out across Twitter, Blue Sky, and Threads from there. All right, have a great day, everybody. Muddy, I hope your friend feels better. Older sibling, I hope you're doing okay, and I hope both you girls are doing okay. And for everybody watching, have a blessed, wonderful, wonderful day, week, month, year, and remember, you are amazing. Have a great day.